Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We are continuing to discuss documents that were released by the Moscow Police Department relative to their investigation into the crimes at 1122 King Road, never before seen by the public, which were released on July 23rd, 2025. I would like to call to your attention for your consideration Officer Jason House's report. This calls information that occurred November 13th, 2022, relative to Officer House's involvement as a member of Moscow Police Department investigatory activities relative to the crimes at 1122 King Road. This document commences by stating that on March 12, 2024, that Officer House had received an email from Detective Corporal Payne asking for a review and detail of my BWC regarding this case and my involvement. Now, BWC, we understand, means body-worn camera. And Detective Corporal Payne, we understand, is Detective Brett Payne, who was the lead investigator for the Moscow Police Department into these crimes. Next paragraph. Officer Jason House indicates that on November 13th, 2022, at approximately 14:20 hours, which would be around 2:20 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, that he responded to 1122 King Road to assist with canvassing the immediate area, and that he was tasked with conducting door-to-door contact in the blank Queen Road area. This appears to be, and this is my opinion only, 500 Queen Road, where the apartments directly adjacent and neighboring 1122 King Road were located. Officer House indicates here he was informed that a likely time of the incident was between approximately 4 and 4:45 a.m. This appears to be new information, ladies and gentlemen, that according to Moscow Police Department, during this early investigation, the afternoon of November 13th, that the timeline of the crimes was between approximately 4 and 4:45. It goes on to state, I was advised that other officers had already covered the south-facing apartments of Queen Road, and I began going door to door on the center and north-facing portions of the apartment complex with Captain Lanier. I spoke with several tenants who stated they did not hear anything strange, and their only attention to 1122 was brought upon by the increased police presence during the day. I did not identify the tenants I spoke to, who stated they had not been aware or alerted to any unusual sounds, people, or events. Of the tenants I spoke with and did not identify, all gave a similar amount of standard party activity and nothing out of the ordinary for a typical Saturday night, Sunday morning. While Captain Lanier and I were conducting door-to-door canvassing, our attention was drawn to dark red-colored drops and splotches on several portions of the walkway of the building, particularly on the upper level near apartment, and this is redacted. And after further inspection, I could see that this was the same colored substance appearing to be rust, which ran down the walls and was on several door jambs, as well as the siding throughout the apartment complex. I checked the walkway back from the area and did not see any other drops or splotches indicating a BLOOD trail leading toward 1122 King. There was no answer at apartment blank Based on those observations, I determined the drops and splotches to be uninvolved or unrelated. I spoke with tenants in apartment blank who stated they went to bed around 1 and music was present at 1122 King Road during that time, which they stated was, quote, pretty much every weekend, end quote. Both tenants said they were awoke around 9:30 hours and there were no strange or alarming sounds due to having no information aside from standard weekend behavior from 1122 King. I did not identify the two contacts. I spoke to the tenants in apartment blank identified as JG and it looks like DB. The two stated they were at a birthday party on Blake Street, approximately 1.5 blocks away, and got to bed in the early morning hours, estimated to be approximately 4 o'clock. I asked which way they walked back from the party, and B described them as walking back west on Taylor, then cutting up a stair path just west of Taylor. The stairs travel from the parking lot of blank Taylor Avenue up to Queen Road, facing straight at the gravel parking lot of 1122 King. Both B and G stated they did not see anyone outside or pass anyone as they were walking. I asked if there was still a party or music going on at 1122 King when they walked by, and they stated there was. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, and they did not hear anything that alarmed them in any way. I spoke with the female tenant of apartment blank, who stated she works a red eye and got home at 6:30 hours and had left for work at 21:45 hours on November 12th. She stated there was activity, people coming and going from 1122 King at that time. This would be 21:45 hours, or on the evening of November 12th, ladies and gentlemen. After conducting the canvass through my assigned area, I cleared the scene. At no time during my involvement in the area did I cross into the designated crime scene. This is signed by Officer House, March 13th, 2024, and reviewed and approved by Corporal Brett Payne. If you have any comments or feedback relative to this report, please leave them here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.